Welcome to today's webinar. The topic today is results documentation in the RFEM 6 and RSTAB 9 printout report. My name is Andreas Hörold. I'm responsible for marketing and public relations in the Dlubal Software company. For instance, the Dlubal website, the German and English webinars, customer projects, etc. I will be the moderator today and also the presenter, and I will be supported by my two colleagues, and they can introduce themselves. Sandy, you are muted. Please.
Sorry. Okay. Hello, my name is Sandy Matula. I'm responsible for the customer support here at Dlubal. Today I will answer your questions.
Yeah, and hello from me too. I'm Caroline Lessmann, and I work here at the Dlubal Software in the marketing department. So I basically support Andreas Hörold in all his tasks, and I'll be answering your questions today as well.
Okay, thank you for your introduction. Then we can switch off our webcams that the attendees can see the full screen. You can ask questions via the control panel on the right side of your screen. You can enter a question here and my two colleagues will answer you. If you don't get an answer during the webinar because there are too many, you will get an email afterwards. So in the next days. The other way is to watch the entire webinar and then email your questions to info@dlubal.com. To the agenda today, I will give you tips and tricks for display properties. I create different views. Then I print member interface results into the printout report as graphics. And then I create a verifiable printout report, and I will give also tips and tricks there. Okay, then we turn to the program. That's the model of today's webinar. There are members of steel and surfaces of concrete. I designed the steel structure and that slab here. But yeah, before I will start, I would like to introduce something. I would like to show you the loads. So without results, that the self-weight load case with the roof loads and the loads on the slabs. Then the imposed load with the loads on the slab. The snow load case. Yeah, for the snow load, I use the snow load wizard. I can display by right click on the load not separately. Yeah, that's the load from the wind load wizard. And if there are members below, then the program creates member loads automatically, and you can see that here in that setting. Okay, the same is valid for the wind load case, wind in X direction. I can display it also separately. Here are member loads and on this side, surface loads. So wind in X and wind in Y direction. I created only two wind load cases in this example. And the last load case is the pre-stress. And we've got also imperfection cases. So in X direction and Y direction. Okay, that's all to the loads. Then here left in the navigator data, I do right click to that dialog here, also to open that dialog, load cases and combinations. I go through this dialog very quickly. In 2 weeks, I will present a webinar that contains the load cases and combinations dialog. Yeah, a webinar only describing these dialogues here. I used for the combinations the Eurocode 0. Now you can see here different standards, international standards. And for the Eurocode, there are a lot of national annex implemented. I use the German national annex. Okay, then the load cases, the 6 load cases that I introduced at the beginning, the actions, for example, the wind action, there are the two wind load cases assigned, and they act alternatively. So then the design situations, design situation number 1, it's used for the concrete design and steel design. It is for the ultimate limit state design. Then design situation 2 for the serviceability limit state design characteristic. It's activated for the concrete design and steel design, and these 2 design situations for the serviceability limit state design are activated only for concrete design. So if you click on overview, you can see which load combinations are assigned. I can click through them. Okay, and here in this dialog, you can see all 57 load combinations. Then I designed the steel structure with the add-on steel design. So without loads. So now you can see the maximum ratio of all design checks. Then I can click through these single designs here, the ultimate limit state section proof, stability, and serviceability limit state design. Okay, although they are displayed in different colors, you can see it's quite confusing. That's why we print not only the isometric view with the separate design checks, we create views in the axis 1, axis 3, and axis A, with the multi-print feature. Okay, I disable it. So, and then I show you the concrete design. I designed only this surface here, the slab. I can zoom a little bit in with the mouse wheel. So, and then here in the navigator results, I can click through the required reinforcement, and I would like to print these 4 graphics in the printout report later with one step. Okay, then parts list. We will also print a parts list in the printout report. I will come back to that later. That's a new feature in RFEM 6 and RSTAB 9. So before we print anything, I define a line grid. So just a moment. Static analysis. So line grid. Left above in the menu, insert, then guide objects, line grids. Usually you define a line grid as in the first step, not afterwards. I do that retroactively. And it's not a problem. You can do that anytime. I would add a label text. Then here, line grid, I have to enter the distances here in X direction 4 times 5 meters. You can edit or change the labels here. I leave it as it is for this webinar. Okay, then also 5 meters in Y direction, 5 times. And a short distance, that's the distance between the concrete and steel structure. Okay, that's all. I can apply it and I'll see it in the preview. Okay. So I forgot to activate it. No problem. I go to the navigator data. Here under guide objects, you will find the line grids. And with a right click, you can activate the line grid. I can double click on it. I forgot to set this check here. Okay. If I would like to change anything in the display settings for the line grid, I can click on it with a right click and open it. Just a moment. I load the white background. Okay. So I can leave the dialog again. So, and right click. I show it again. Display properties. And you will get directly to the category here. And a tip from my side, the categories in the display properties are similar than the categories in the navigator data and navigator display. If you want to find anything, you can right click on the object, can find it here, and yeah, it's easier then easier to find the object in the other navigators. Okay, then I change the font to bold and size 12 and change the distance here. Okay, and just take a look on the text here. When I press apply, it will be larger. Okay, so now the line grid is complete. I know where is which axis and can start with the views. Here right above, I click on view in Z direction. Then I select all objects in axis 1. Press visibility by selected and related objects. Change the view in -Y direction. Okay, and that's the view I would like to create. So at the bottom here on the left side, I change to the navigator views and create with a new view with that button here. So I call it axis 1. So that's the first view. Right above, I click on cancel visibility mode, change the view, select all objects in axis 3. Then I display only this objects, change the view again. So, and I can save the next view, axis 3. Okay. Then the same workflow again. So all objects in axis A. Then view in -X direction. Okay, I can zoom a little bit in. Now I can cut the concrete structure. It's not interesting to our results for the steel design. So axis A. So then I cancel the visibility mode again, and I select the concrete slab. Let display only this one. Change in Z direction. Okay. And I would like to create a view also for this slab. So as you see here, I created a surface reinforcement for the concrete design. It's a mesh Q258, sorry. And I would like to deactivate, or I don't want to display it, that it not disturb the displaying of the results. Yeah. But yeah, I'm not sure where I can find it in the navigator display. That's why I apply my tip that I gave you. So right click, display properties. Yeah, and you can see in the category under types for concrete design, you can find the surface reinforcements. You could change the color here, but I don't want to change anything here. I used it only to find the category for the navigator. Okay, types for concrete design. You can find here types for concrete design, surface reinforcement, and I can deactivate it for the display. Okay, then I create the next view. Concrete slab. Okay, so now I recognize that the gray color here can maybe it can also disturb the displaying of the results. I use the view transparent model and I change to wireframe model. But now I have to update the view. How to do that? I unlock the views with that button here. Then with the middle button, I redefine according to current view. Then I lock all again, and then I can switch between different axes and can see the view is updated. So then all views are created. I cancel the visibility mode again and use the transparent model. For the isometric view that I want to print also in the printout report with the steel design graphics, the concrete structure maybe disturbs also the display. So that's why I would like to deactivate it, or I don't want to display it. So that's why I select all, and here right above I hide the selected objects. So now it's not visible. Maybe we can display it but hidden. How to do that? I change to the navigator display, scroll a little bit down, and under the general settings you can show hidden objects in background. Okay, I like that more. So then in the next step we can print the steel results. So I can display them again. So, okay, maybe I can rotate it a little bit. So I would like to print that view and the other views. So left above here, you can open that drop-down menu and select print graphics to printout report. So then you can see a preview here. You can rotate the graphic. That would be 0. And if you want to rotate it in a clockwise direction, then for example 90 degrees, then you need to select this. But I would like to rotate it 90 degrees anti-clockwise. That's why I use 270. So you can use a screen as a screen view or window filling, it doesn't matter. Okay. And if you want to print only this graphic in the printout report, then press OK or save and show. That's quite easy, but I would like to use the multi-print feature. So I go through the single dialogues. I don't want to print the model, no imperfections, no loads, no results. It's of course possible to print the member results, for example, the internal forces. I would like to print only the steel design results in this webinar. So the current view, that was the isometric view, then the saved axis. Then on the right side, I select the maximum of all design checks, the ultimate limit state, section proof, stability, and the serviceability limit state design. So, and at the bottom, you can see there are 16 pictures that are created in few seconds. I switch back to the general dialog. So, and all images are created. So that's the isometric view with the 4 design checks. Then axis 1 with the 4 design checks. Yeah, and you can see in the preview, it's quite good readable in the views. So, and this is axis 3, etc. Then I press save and show. And we turn to the next dialog, printout report manager. Since we opened the printout report for the first time, we have to select what we want to document. Okay, and here at the bottom left, you can load from a template. There are different templates already available. For example, the input data and reduced results. That's the default setting. Then the concrete design, steel design, etc. So I use the default setting. Yeah, and of course you can save a template with this button here, save as template. Then parts list. Yeah, I select only this one and this one to show it later in the printout report. So then, for example, concrete design, where are the tables with the design ratio and surfaces selected, then the required reinforcement. For the steel design, the design ratio and members by member set and by members. Okay. So on the right side, you can select here, for example, page prefix, then prefixes will be added, for example, for the steel design, ST, or for the concrete design, CO, or for the model, MO. So, okay. Then the printout report is creating. So at the first time, it takes some seconds. Okay, that's the printout report. On the left side, you can see the content. And what's interesting to us in the first step are the graphics here. Above, you can switch between different displays, for example, fit page, fit width, fit high, and so on. 2 pages. I fit the pages. Okay, so the 4 graphics for the isometric view. So then axis 1, axis 3, and axis A. As you can see, the last 4 graphics are with the concrete structure, and yeah, I can modify that. With the Shift key, I can select all 4 graphics here on the left side. Then I do a right click, go to Properties, and select not window filling, sondern as screen view. And all 4 graphics will be updated in the next seconds. So let's take a look. Okay, now the concrete structure is cut again. So then I would like to show the parts list. I fit the width parts list. Yeah, you can see in this table here the section name, then the length, the total length, and the sum of the length, then the total surface area. Yeah, for example, to calculate the coating or galvanizing, the total volume and the total weight. And you can also document the total weight by a material here, steel and concrete. Okay, then I moved the printout report a little bit on the other screen, and as you can see, I can work in the program and in the printout report parallel. So I move it completely to my other screen. I would like to show you another feature. I select axis 3, and I would like to print the result diagram of this member set here, the horizontal beam. That's member set 3, and I would like to print it in the printout report. Right click on the member set, then result diagrams. So then I have to select here, results on member set. That's okay, but not the self-weight load case, but the ultimate limit state design as a design situation number 1, member set 3. Okay, I would like to document not the global deformations, but all internal forces. NVM. Okay, so 6 diagrams are displayed, and with that button above, or with the drop-down menu, print graphics to print out report, I can print that graphics. So all graphics on one sheet at the moment. I can press here on the left side, determine diagram hider automatically. And now it's much better. And you can also set the diagram height manually. I tested it before. 7 is also 7 centimeters is also a good parameter. Okay, then save and show. You can leave the dialog, and we can take a look in the printout report. Here is the result diagram. I fit the page, and you can see the 2 pages here. Okay, that's all for the steel design documentation. I continue with the concrete design. So that's why I go back to the program. So I use the view concrete slab. Let's display the concrete design results. Okay, then I change here left above to the navigator results. And we can click through the single results, the two directions of the reinforcement on the top and at the bottom. You can see the direction of the reinforcement with that arrow here. Okay, and I would like to display the values as well. If you want to delete one decimal place, then you can go here left above to edit, then unit and decimal places. And under concrete reinforcement, you can find the setting here, reinforcement areas per unit length. So, and if I change that and press apply, you can see in the preview there's only one decimal place now. Okay. I leave it as it is. Yeah, let's try it. Okay, then I print all again. In the first step, I select the current view. Yeah, that's quite okay. The rotation is okay as well. Window filling, okay. And I select the multi-print. I would like to print all 4 graphics. So, concrete design, the current view, and the 4 results for the required reinforcement. And I select also show values on surfaces. Here, 4 pictures will be created. We can scroll through the 4 images. Yeah, it looks quite good. Then we can press save and show and go back to the printout report. So, take some seconds. All is updating. So, now the 4 graphics are printed in the printout report. Yeah, I think that's quite easy. Just test it. And that's all for the steel and concrete design documentation. I will continue with general features of the printout report. So let's click through the menu. Here left above, the report. Yeah, close report, it's clear, and so on, delete. And at the end, we will export the finished printout report to a PDF. So edit, you can edit the printout report. It's the same button as here. You can add more topics if you want. So I go back to the printout report here. So then you can use the copy, cut, and clone function. Shortcuts, Control and C are available, and so on. So you can set a language. You can translate the full printout report in another language. I select French. There are 11 languages available in RFEM 6 and RSTAB 9, and it takes only a few seconds to translate such a printout report. Now we have got more than 150 pages, and you can see that it is already translated here. all is in French now. I change it back to English. Okay. Then we have to wait some seconds. Go to, yeah, where are these buttons? You can switch between the different pages. You can open here, go to. I would use that buttons here, come to the end, to the beginning, to the next page, and so on. And you can also click through the menu here, or to the, so the content, I would say the content, or navigator. So then insert, you can insert different things, images from file, an image from clipboard, then a plain text, rich text, HTML, then formulas, PDF. And I would like to insert a plain text and a PDF. The workflow is similar for all. So I start with a plain text. For example, you have to add the preliminary notes. You can do it this way. I prepared a dummy text, and with Control C, I can copy that, and Control V, I can insert it here. Okay. It will be added at the end of the printout report. I close here some folders that you can see that I can drag and drop it here at the beginning. Okay, now where are the preliminary notes, model location, and so on. Those are mini picture. It supports, or they support the tables, I think. Here the single sections, for example, the internal forces on the members, etc. Or for example, for the concrete design, this graphic here, can zoom a little bit in. For example, with the dimensions here, the diameter of the reinforcement, etc. Or this graphic here for the concrete durabilities, we used XC1 and XC2, and it's such a supporting mini picture. So in the next step, I would like to insert a PDF. That's why I go to our website. So I switch to dlubal.com and English. So, and under solutions, you can find the snow load, wind speed, and seismic load maps. Okay, took a long time, I don't know why. And where are different international standards available, and for the Eurocode 1, the different national annexes. You can see at the moment the United Kingdom. I enter a location, the location of our subsidiary in Leipzig, Germany. That's what I used for my design. So, and you can see the characteristic snow load here, the wind parameters, and the seismic parameters. And with that button here, you can print it in a PDF, for example, or directly. So yeah, only page 1 is interesting to us, and you can see the map, the address, and the results from the load maps. Okay, I print only page 1, or yeah, I print all. Yeah, it's in German. My Windows is in German, sorry. Okay, and I print it on the desktop. Load maps. Okay. Then I go back to the printout report, press insert, insert PDF. Then desktop load maps. Okay, that's the preview, 2 pages open, and I can take over only 1 page, for example. I use only the first page. Okay, and that's why only 1 page has been inserted. Okay, I move it before the windowed wizards. So, okay, the load maps with the values and then the load wizards for snow and for wind. Also here the mini graphics. Okay, then in the next step, we come to the cover. With a right click on the cover, I can press here, edit. Yeah, let's go through the single dialogues here. Printer settings, yeah, I think it's clear. Page setup with the paper format. You can also select another format. Then, yeah, the margins, etc. Then other settings. You can enter the address of your company here. I enter Dlubal Software GmbH. Then our address of our company, Weg 2 in Germany, Tiefenbach. Okay, and I can save it as a template. I call it Dlubal. Okay, as you can see, there are 3 templates are already available, and I save Dlubal for my next printout reports. Okay, then cover page settings. You can enter, for example, the client here. I call him John Doe, created by me. Yeah, only that we have some text in the single tables, and I call it Steel Hall with office building. Okay, that's all. The cover is finished. And you can, of course, also change the logo here. Go to edit again. Here, the logo path, you can change it, of course. So the next step, what I would like to show you, the folders. If you can move such folders here. For example, types for concrete design. If you do a right click, You can move the item to top, or yeah, move the item down, item down. Okay, it was on the 5th place, as I remember right. You can do, of course, also drag and drop. So, and you can create a folder, a child folder, or a folder above the item. I call it test to show it. Yeah, you can add to this folder, for example, graphics from the printout report or PDFs or something like that. Okay, I delete it. Okay, the printout report is complete for this example. I can go to report, export to PDF, and I call it PR, printout report, save. Okay. In the next seconds, it will be finished. So it's on my other screen. So that's the PDF of the printout report. And what I like are the bookmarks left. You can switch between the single folders and so on. Yeah. Also a quite good feature. Okay, before I close the webinar, I would like to go on our website and, for example, show you where you can find the recording of today's webinar. So I go back to the main page. Yeah, if you don't apply our software, just download our free trial version here at the top. On the top, you can find that button. Then you can see here the trial versions, RFEM 6 and RSTAB 9. They are valid for 90 days. They contain all add-ons. Now you can download the trial version, for example, and today's model and try the webinar. Also, our section is available and our Win 2. So, and here under news and events, you can find the webinars. That is today's webinar. That is the webinar in 2 weeks. Now, if you are registered for our newsletter, you will get an invitation, also 1 week before the webinar. So I open today's webinar. And in the next days, you will get an email with a link to that page here. In the middle, you will find the recording. So the presentation slides are already available and the model as well. Okay, that's all from my side. If you have any further questions, you can write us an email. I hope you liked the webinar. When you close the webinar, there is a short survey. Please fill it out. Only some questions. It's quite important to us. Hear from your experiences and your opinions. Just note that the worst score is 1 and the best score is 5. I thank you for your attention. Thanks to my 2 colleagues for answering the questions. I wish all a nice rest of the day. Maybe we meet each other in another webinar. Bye-bye.